Hi guys, this is another video on Snowflake and it will be in multi-parts, and the part one will cover some Snowflake SQL tips. I will start with null count, min by and max by, dynamic pivot and unpivot, exclude, rename, replace, as join off, and the next video maybe I will cover the remind future. So let's start. So as you can see, we'll just set up our environment. Here we have an order table with some ID, date, status, the first states, the last states, and we have some null value. If we need to check the null counts, we can use the regular SQL where cast ID is null, or with the new feature, we will have a Snowflake core null count. It give us the same result. The next, it is max min by and max by, and it is a nice feature because it will decrease the degree of the complexity to develop some SQL queries. So as you know, here we have a left join between the table, and we need to check the max date and then join this inline view or this subquery to the principal one to get the result. And as you can see with max by, it is very easy. Just you put max by and the colons, and we'll have the same result here and here. It could be more complex. For the second example here, I'm using a window function, first value and last value, and could be more complex if we will not use a window function to get the first status and the last status for each order. And as you can see here, the syntax with min by and max by is very simple to find the same result. The next also, it is the dynamic pivot and unpivot. This is the setup of some simple data. So to do the pivoting of the columns to rows, we use the pivot keyword. Here we are using the pivot, and as you can see here, the rows are converted to the columns. Here the mathematics and science and English. So the syntax is too simple, but we need to have the static values here. Snowflake suggests us also to use a subquery. So we need to have select distinct subject code, and we will have the same result. We could also use a procedure in two steps. One, generate first step, it will be generate the code, and the second step, it will execute the code. And this is the code of the procedure. And if we do the call, we have the conversion of the rows to some columns. For the dynamic, the new feature, it is the use of any. So there is no need to use the static values or a subquery. So you put just any and you will have the same result. So it is a nice feature. For the unpivoting to unpivot, it is the reverse of the pivot. So we need just to create sample data and use the unpivot to just translate the columns to rows. So it is so simple. Another nice feature, it is the exclude and the rename. So you can do select star and exclude some columns. It is a very nice feature if the number of columns is very high in a table. So we need just sometimes to exclude, we need to type all the columns. But here we have the opportunity to use star and use exclude to exclude the column from the list of displayed columns. And we have also the opportunity to rename the column with the star schema here. And we can combine also these two features together. So it is a nice feature. Another very helpful feature, it is the as join off. So here we have setup of the environment. Here, for example, I have a table with the exchange rate, and we have a payment. As you can see here, if I'm using the left join just to take the calculated amount using the rate. I will have some null because there is no correspondence between the dates in both tables. So if we will use as join of syntax and we have match condition and we will use our condition, it is greater or less than, and it will look to the nearest date that will be satisfied. Here, for example, we have 2 April. It is not included in the master table. It will return the 1st of April, and the 6 and the 7, it will be matched to the 5. So, and you can see that the calculate amount currency will be calculated without any issue. So here, if I come back here, so here the first picture is from the as join, and the second one is related to left outer join, and you see that here we have null value and here there is null value because it will pick up the rate from the nearest day. I have another example also to have two separate tables for payment currency and exchange currency. It is the same. The only difference here is just to use another column. It is as join of. We put the condition and we add a regular join between the two tables, and you can see here the null value, and there is no null value for the second one. So I have some other future, but it will be maybe covered in part 2. So let's go to the demo. So we have the database, the setup, all the stuff that we have here. We need just to start with the null. So if we need to select and see the content of the table, so we have here 4 null values. We can use the regular syntax with count. We have 4, and if we use the Snowflake kernel count, it will be the same result. We will have count. So it is very simple. So here for the max buy and the min buy, here if we need to check the content of the order table, and we need to do the last status. So here we need to check the max date and in a subquery, and we need to join it to the master table to get the rows that matching the max date. And as you can see here, it is very simple to use max buy. The second example also, I have here the complex query using the window function, first value and last value. So what is so here the first status and the last status for each order using the complex window function, and here it will be more simple using the min buy and the max buy. So it is so easy, so it is very useful, nice features. So here we will see the content of the table that we will do some pivoting. So this is the table, and we will just using the static here. I'll use English, mathematics, and science. So here the voting is down. Here we will use a subquery. we'll have the same result. Here I am using, this is the generated code in to be tested in the stored procedure, and we just take this code and execute it. So we use the stored procedure. It is maybe a legacy procedure, but it gives us the same result. So here we need to select the content and the call of the procedure. It will be return a table, as you can see here, because the two steps are encapsulated in the same function. We can use also the magic of any. It is so simple here. You see the any, and there is no need to use the static values or the dynamic query. It is very simple. So here we will see how to do the reverse of the pivoting. It will be unpivot. So this is the content, and when we use only the unpivot clause, we will see the same result. That's perfect. Now we will see the rename. So the start we have, I think, 3 columns, and we will, here we have the student ID. It is renamed, and here we have renaming 2 columns. Here we are using also the rename of columns. No, here we are using the exclude, sorry. So we need to just exclude the subject, and we combine exclude and rename in the same query. For the as join off, we have the exchange rate, the table that contains the rate. And here for the date, we have for the 2 and 6 and 7, there is no value. And here we have the payment, and we have some rows with the 6, I think, the 2 and the 5 and the 6. If we will use the regular left join just to check if there is any correspondence, we will find some null values, as you can see here. When we will use the as join off and we use the match condition, from payment date will be greater or equal to a date, it will look for the nearest date related to this condition, and there is no null, and all is done as expected. Here another example, and we will use, in addition of the match columns, we will use on clause to match the both column from the master and the slave table. So here we have the exchange rate, and so if we will use the left join, we will see that here we have and the clause here, and we will see that we have some null values. But if we use the as join off, it is with the match condition, and there is this on clause just to match both table in addition to the condition, and the result will be as expected. Sorry. And there is a perfect match to check the nearest date according to the condition and according also to matching column between both tables. So this is the first part of some SQL tips in Snowflake. I will cover the next part. So feel free if you have any question, and thank you for watching. Have a nice day.